you're like us, stress seems to be everywhere. Your boss may have just dropped a new project on you. Every cough becomes a COVID scare. Schoolwork may be piling up. The list goes on. On top of all that, talking about mental health is still a taboo and information is limited. By your side, Anxiety Education is here to help. With easy-to-use coping mechanisms, anxiety check-ins, and information to be an ally to loved ones. Whether you or someone you know is struggling with anxiety or stress, we are by your side. Anxiety. I am here today with my team, Sarah, Joshua, Isaiah, Zainab, Matthew, and myself, Brandy, and we are Team 4.
So we went through the 4Ds process twice to create our app. In the discover phase, first we identified our stakeholders and did some interviews to gain initial insights. Next slide. Then we iterated on our design results and created personas and scenarios. We then developed 5 additional insights that were more specific than our first insights. And our opportunity statement is, how might we create an app which educates people on anxiety while also providing resources for people with anxiety? Next slide. In the define phase, we used affinity analysis to organize our insights. Next slide. Then we used our opportunity statement, our personas and scenarios, and our affinity analysis to develop a list of system functions and subfunctions. Next slide.
So next we had our prototyping process where we used C-Sketch and iterative prototyping to develop our ideas. We sat around a table, each with a piece of paper in front of us, and we drew ideas for our app that we each had. Then we passed the papers around and everyone iterated on top of everyone else's prototypes. After we finished that, we came back together, talked about which ideas were viable and which ones were not. Then we each split up and developed each of the prototypes that we were each assigned individually. After that, we once again came back together, talked about our prototypes with stakeholders, and talked about things that we could each improve or change about each of our own apps.
The key feedback that we got from our users and stakeholders was that the app needs to feel very streamlined. There needed to be clear-cut instructions for use, and most preferred some degree of control over the app experience, an ability to customize it. Moving into demo day, we realized that we had a lot of features, and the key feedback we were hoping to get from our classmates were which features were most important and which could be cut. Next slide. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, we found out that every feature was worthwhile, which gave us the challenge moving forward to incorporate every feature in a way that was streamlined and easy to use and still customizable for the user experience. This led to the creation of our final prototype.
Hello, this is our final prototype for By Your Side Anxiety Education. We begin with a welcome page that explains what our app can offer and our mission. Before continuing to the app, every user must agree to the disclaimer that we are not a substitute for professional counseling. We then have our homepage with our 6 features. Each team member was responsible for developing one feature of the app. Our profile section features an anxiety and symptom assessment. This test can be taken multiple times and the progress is tracked to see how the user's symptoms have changed over time. Our information section has articles for those with anxiety as well as those who simply want to learn more. The user can also submit a question or article. Our resources page features coping mechanisms, counseling connections, and mini-games. We also have links to crisis lines and hotlines. Our buddy system allows users to connect with a buddy who may have anxiety or want to learn more. It also has the ability to connect the user with loved ones or a professional. Journaling is an effective coping mechanism. Our journaling section allows the user to share their entry with their counselor if they wish, but it is not required. Finally, we have a feedback and comment section. We want our users to share with us what they want to see. By Your Side is designed as a resource for our community to learn and communicate about mental health. Thank you.
The impact of our design is to raise awareness on the importance of panic attacks and validate them as a real problem that is unseen and happens more frequently than people think, as well as assisting people with these issues to lessen the burden that they go through time to time by giving them a way to cope. To move forward from here, we'd like to design and create our app into fruition and have it free for everyone to have access to, as we believe that help shouldn't be behind a paywall. So we hope to be by your side.